Welcome to the MarcWes Sports Podcast.
All right, welcome to the MarcWes Sports Podcast with your boy Marcus Benjamin and Wesley Pierre. I'm here. I got the headset on today, baby, because I'm feeling like a coach out there. You know, high school championships is this week. You know, I ain't gonna let no secrets out, but maybe I'm coaching out there. You know, you never know. But it is what it is. We already got one more win. Before we get into the picks, I just want to say we already got a win in the books already. Champignon went out there and beat Jacksonville University. The University Christian School, I think it was 41-24, something like that. The young boy Malik Rutherford, Georgia Tech commit, was out there balling. So we already got one notch under the belt. Chaminade and Trinity Christian coming up next tonight. So we'll see what happens. But let's review what happened this week, though, man. Man, that's why I got this Grinch behind me, man, because I'm feeling like a Grinch after like what happened. But that you see the Grinch smiling though, so I'm still smiling. I'm still feeling good, even though we had a sad weekend. Especially with that Hurricanes game was a freaking massacre, to be honest. I mean, like, it was just disappointing to watch. To me, they couldn't stop anything that North Carolina was doing. And the sad thing about it, Wes, was, I was watching it in the press box. You were watching it at home, so you probably heard more commentary from the commentators that were talking about the game. So they were just saying what they thought about it. But from what I saw, these dudes could not set the edge. One of the common things in football, if you're a defensive end, is to set the edge so they don't take the outside. And then the linebacker is supposed to have that inside when the running back comes inside. And for some reason, like, they just could not stop it. It was just every time it was the same thing over and over. And I just don't understand, like, why they couldn't figure that out throughout the whole game.
I understand, and the reason why I understand,
tell me, because I need to know.
let me let you know, because Manny Diaz, I gotta blame him. I fuck with him the long way. It's all about the you. Definitely see the logo in the back. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta understand, when you play football and you're over aggressive, this is gonna happen. Point blank. Period. You know what I'm saying? Our whole detriment. Our defense is on point. Is good, not great. Right now we're leaning towards the upside and not the downside of football. But that game was like, Manny Diaz did not adjust at all. He kept doing the same shit over and over again and thinking that something was going to happen different. And that's one of the reasons why he got fired from that same fucking coach that whooped his ass and whooped our ass, because we are a family. He wound up just putting his foot on Manny Diaz and the University of Miami's throat and kept shoving it down his throat, So, all he needed to do was, we kind of knew that Miami had like a problem with the run defense. You kind of can mask that a lot if you wind up scoring first and able to pin your ears back and just rush the quarterback. Yeah. And, especially if you got a 2-point lead, 2-possession lead. Miami kind of been running like that, kind of the entire season. You had a few games that were close, that we wind up winning because of our defense and because of the miraculous kicker in Bordalis. But setting that edge, one big problem is, not really looking at the moment and knowing that this is not the time to really rush like that. This is the time to maintain the edge. And like you said, have the linebackers zone in the middle of the field and go ahead and do their thing. But that kind of has been a problem with Miami football for the longest. I tend to see the better teams right now, rank wise, the Alabamas, the Ohio States, even though I think they shouldn't be ranked where they are ranked right now. But I do know a good team when I do actually see one. Normally, you have the D-line, the front four normally keep the O-line upright, and then the linebackers sit back in the middle of the field, wait and see what gap to actually go and zoom through. But when we had Shrek Quarterman, that was one of his problems. He always find himself in the mix of the D line and the O line, and he's struggling to go ahead and fight off those blockers, and he's right there and he can't make the tackle because he's over aggressive. Same thing with the linebackers that we have right now, a lot younger, but over aggressive, and we have two great pass rushers in Phillips and not Russo, he's gone, Roche, but you couldn't really use those guys because they're normally used to rush the quarterback. And because we were already, losing 7-0, he should have adjusted. And when we wind up getting the lead, you could go ahead and rush, but that's not what we wind up doing. So that was the main problem, being over aggressive with the.
I totally agree. 100%. But I don't put it all on Manny Diaz. Some of it got to go on that D coordinator, man, Blake Baker. Oh, yeah. I mean, to me, I'm surprised he still has his job.
That's his homeboy.
But hopefully this is not the same situation with Al Golden and D'Onofrio, though, because remember that was his homeboy too. And he kept him in there for years after he was fucking up.
See, but remember last year,
this is not that same situation.
See, but again, I hope not too. But remember last year when the defense was kind of looking suspect, what did Manny Diaz do? He took over the defense, and it started looking like what Miami defense been looking like since Manny Diaz been the defensive coordinator, now the head coach of the University of Miami. I don't know what he need to do. At the end of the day, I know if I was him, I'm like, look, the offense is on point. They got Lashley, with the air raid offense. You don't need to worry about the offense. Worry about the defense. You don't really need a defensive coordinator. You don't. You could go ahead and use that money that you're using on the defensive coordinator and use that on more recruits, where we will talk about later on in the podcast, not recruits paying them, but people that can actually know how to recruit. And I know that we got a good squad as far as recruiting, because of course today was National Signing Day. That's because I have this love in the back.
Yeah.
But it's the defensive coordinator. You're absolutely right. He needs to go. But again, that goes back to Manny Diaz. That's your homeboy. We all know that. You have a history with him in other schools when you were at that program. I think you took him from what team that we have bought him out of. That
he came from Louisiana Tech.
From Louisiana Tech. And who Louisiana Tech played? Nobody's. So I don't need no defensive coordinator that's going to be around non-elite talent. And this is the reason why this is happening. You and Manny Diaz being over aggressive.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm surprised he still has his job because the fact that they didn't make any adjustments in the second half, because I felt like, okay, we was down. I felt like at halftime when we were down 34-10, I felt like they still could win the game if they were able to stop the offense. But they couldn't. And they were doing the same thing over and over. And it's not like they were doing anything different, which was the most frustrating part. Yeah, they got two elite running backs, and the dude, by the way, the dude 25, the Jamal Williams, is a player that I could see the Dolphins drafting next season. I could see him. I think he's gonna probably be the third running back taken. So I could see the Dolphins. I don't think they'll take her. I think ATN is going to be gone by first round, and I don't think the Dolphins are going to spend a first round pick on a running back. But yeah, I'd rather ETN too, obviously. But yeah, I think that dude's going to be available. The other kid is a senior; he's also going to be available too. So they were just looking like NFL ballers against us, and that's not what you want to see if you're a Hurricanes fan. So it's really, 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 really disappointing to see that game happen. Because it kind of knocked us down one out of the Orange Bowl. So now we're not going to the Orange Bowl. We're either going to the bowl in Orlando.
We're going to the Cheez-It Bowl.
the Cheez-It Bowl, which I didn't even want to say it because it just sounds so cheesy.
Mm-hmm.
The Cheez-It Bowl. Like, why they come on, man? Like, come up with a better name. I understand y'all pay for that. Yeah, and y'all I don't even like Cheez-Its. I don't even like I would not eat Cheez-Its or goldfish or anything like that. Those are just not my thing. But what gonna have us go to the Cheez-It Bowl? We're gonna have a Cheez-It Bowl trophy. That just doesn't sound right to me. So the other choice is the Gator Bowl. I mean, that's a possibility too in Jacksonville, but I don't know. We'll see. But it's unfortunate. Yeah, it sounds a little bit better. It's just unfortunate that we have to go down to one of those two bowls because now we're basically the fourth best team in the ACC behind North Carolina, Notre Dame, and Clemson. So I mean, the positive thing is, and like you was mentioning, and we might as well go into it now, is the recruiting class is still very strong today. Today was early signing day. All of the recruits signed early. All the players that were committed signed. So
loyalty.
I mean, we're still waiting for a couple of them today that not committed, but maybe might, say that they're signing with the U, like Jake Garcia, still waiting on him, and Marquise Brown is the other player that has a possibility maybe to sign with the U because both of those players put the U in their top 5 or top 3. So, we'll see if that happens, but it is a testament to the coaching staff as far as recruiting. Like after that embarrassing loss, if it was a historic loss, and you could read how historic it was on footballhotbed.com on the Benjamin Report of how historic it really was. Just the 500 yards of rushing yards on us, 700 total yards was the second most in all of FBS. It's just those type of stats just sadden me just to write, But after all of that, all these boys still committed. All these boys still signed.
Because
James Williams signed.
Why is that? Why
you
think is that? Why you think is that? I mean, they seen what we seen. They seen that we couldn't stop anything on defense. You feel what I'm saying? And who did we get? We got a 5-star safety, and we got a 5-star defensive tackle. We got a 4-star running back in Thad Franklin, I think. We got some
4-star receiver Romello Brinson.
Yeah, we got some, we got Borgales brother.
Linemen. Yeah, we got the younger brother, the kicker. So the kicking
got the tight end. What's his name? Arroyo.
He had ties from South Florida. We got
so the future's looking bright. I mean, I'm trying to figure out if probably that loss wind up having them come. Because if they felt like, the players that they had, they'll probably have to be sitting behind them. Then they probably like, oh, I got to go somewhere else. But you clearly see that there's a slot for you right here in Miami. I mean, I'm not sure if Bolden's going to stay, or if he's going to go to the draft. Is he, what is he, a junior or a senior?
I feel like he's a junior.
So, and he had a great season this year. I could see him going if he really wanted to, but
I kind of feel like everybody is really going to stay because
me too.
Because De'Aaron King actually tweeted out. He said, "Oh, I like what I see from this recruiting class." Mm-hmm. I mean, he tweeted that out. So that means it sounds like he's ready for. It seems like he's ready for another run because I actually looked up. I looked up to see like where is De'Aaron King at as far as his draft stock. So I looked it up, and he's not even on there, to be honest. Like he's projected not to be drafted. He would be an undrafted free agent. So why go to why declare yourself eligible if you're not even going to be drafted?
And I think you got a better chance next year too. There's less quarterbacks, that's competition wise as far as going to go ahead and go to the NFL. So it's best if he stay one more year, especially after that loss. Who want to go to the NFL after that loss? And it was not one-sided. The offense didn't look good. The defense didn't look good. Yeah, we scored later on in the game, but I mean it was over. So who cares about the scores that you did in the end? It's like, come on, man, we chilling. We're wasting time. We know we won. We know that we kicked out the Orange Bowl.
Right.
And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, exactly. So we're looking forward to the bowl game. Hopefully they could bounce back. Likely opponents are, I saw Oklahoma State could be in the Cheez-It Bowl. Texas could be in the Cheez-It Bowl, or an SEC school like maybe a LSU in the Gator Bowl, maybe Florida in the Gator Bowl. So those are pretty much the opponents. But I'd like to see Texas. That would be a good one to in the Cheez-It Bowl, or the of course Florida and the Gator Bowl for me. But another disappointing loss was that.
I wouldn't mind, the Florida game. That's
yeah. Any chance to beat Florida is a good day.
and that definitely can help us later on. I mean, if we beat them, I'm not sure if we jump up. I know the rankings is over, but I, when they start off next year's ranking, I think we'll be number 17 there, and we beat number 7 supposedly. If not ranked higher, if they beat Alabama, then it could change things for the Miami Hurricanes.
Yeah, definitely. One more thing I want to say real quick, since we mentioned the Florida Gators, because something that made me feel better about that night is the fact that the Florida Gators lost that night against LSU off of some fluke play too, off of the dude throwing his shoe. So Marco Wilson throws a shoe. They were gonna make them punt. He throws a shoe. You didn't hear about this, Wes?
I heard something about a shoe, but I ain't know. I'm like, what the? I thought it had something to do with a fan.
Oh, nah. So they stopped LSU. They were about to punt, and Florida was about to get the ball back. And one of the DBs takes the dude's shoe that he just tackled and tosses that shit. So they threw a flag on sportsmanlike conduct. LSU, gets the first down, obviously, moves down the field, kicks the field goal, and wins the game, bro. That's how they lost, by throwing a damn shoe, bro.
Oh, damn, I know that motherfucker got his ass whooped in the locker room.
Hell yeah. Just like that meme when you see the dude slap the dude in the back of the head. That's exactly what happened to him.
Hey, shit, he was the Grinch who stole their Christmas.
Exactly. But yeah,
it's all good. But yeah, we're gonna go along and follow up with another loss to the city of Miami. The Miami Dolphins unfortunately lost to the Kansas City Chiefs, but it was not too much of a bad loss because Kansas City got to score on special teams, and fluke shit that don't normally happen with the Dolphins. It happened exactly like what me and Marcus said, except that we lost. That's the only thing. But we said that the defense, we were like, look, how is Patrick Mahomes going to go ahead and pass on our corners? He had 3 interceptions. You know what I'm saying? So that's a bright side to the game. Also, our safety got injured. He twisted his ankle. And how did you score again? You scored off his backup, the one that normally plays on special team, Pendulum or whatever like that. Like, come on. Like, and it's crazy because, they knew exactly who to attack. Right when he got injured, that was basically right where they went after. And he was a dumbass. You're biting on someone that runs like literally like 4-1, 4-2, and that was basically like what kind of won the game. Those fluke plays, But looking at the game too, it looked great. In the beginning, he didn't look as great. But again, like I said in the beginning, this is his preseason. It's like this is really like his second game, all them other quarterbacks had a preseason game in game 1, 2, 3, and 4. Tua didn't have none of that. His preseason game was 5, 6, and so on and so on. So it kind of made me want to go back to when they actually did pull him when he was not looking so great the first time he actually played. Well, not the first time, possibly the second or the third time he actually played, and they pulled him, and I'm like, damn. He looked like he was able to come back against Kansas City. He just didn't have no time. Father Time is undefeated. So he wound up coming back. And it kind of made me question, like, was it the right move when Brian Flores took him out previously. But I kind of want to answer my question. No, I don't think it was a wrong move. Why? Because on Brian Flores, it was a time where we was going for tied number one with Buffalo. So why not try to see if you have a spark and pull him and have Fitzpatrick go in the game, especially after he got hit 4 or 5 times. He's coming off a major hip injury. So yeah, that game was disappointing, but it was not it didn't ruin my whole day and night like the UM game.
Right. Yeah, exactly. That's how I felt too. I felt like they battled. They even had a chance to, if they recover that onside kick, we would probably end up winning that game.
Not even that. If they didn't go for it on 4th and 1, come on, it just showed they were scared. They didn't want to give it back to Tua. That's a rookie quarterback. You just whoop their ass practically the whole game. That's what you should be thinking. Why are you scared? When you punt it to him, he would have to really drive the whole field practically 90, 95 yards to beat you guys, and you guys chose to go for it. And I understand it's all good. It was a good call, but yeah, I really wish they would have punted that ball because I think we would have really won that game.
Yeah, of course. That's exactly what they was thinking. They was like, "Oh, we have to win this game right now," which is the right move. If I was the Dolphins, say a situation was flipped, I wouldn't want to give the ball back to Patrick Mahomes either. So yeah, it was definitely the right move for the Dolphins to do that. Something that you mentioned was the injuries, bro. Let's not forget to mention that Devontae Parker got injured in this game.
Yeah.
Mike Gesicki got injured in this game.
Jakeem Grant got injured in this game.
Jakeem Grant got injured in this game, and we still got injured. A safety got injured, and we still had a chance to win this game in the end. So it was one of the best losses I think we could ever have as Dolphins fans.
A refreshing loss.
It was a refreshing loss. Exactly. I was like, wow. So this is what we can do. I hope we make the playoffs, but even if we don't make the playoffs, I still feel good about this team. I still feel good about the Dolphins coming back next year, especially since we got a whole bunch of draft picks coming up. And I do, once we get to that Saturday podcast, I do want to get your opinion on where do we go as far as draft picks next year. But we'll save that for that podcast. But yeah, I feel like they played really well as far as battling to the most interceptions Patrick Mahomes threw in a game. And they were hustle type of interceptions too. The one where I think it was Van Ginkel got up off the ground when Mahomes thought, he could just have an easy completion, tip the ball up to Byron Jones for the interception. Xavier Howard with that one-handed interception, bro.
Beast mode, man.
That was like a la Brent Grimes back in the day, remember?
Yeah, against Megatron.
I was just like, damn, yeah, exactly. I was like, wow. So this dude is definitely, obviously going to the Pro Bowl for us. So he's going to represent for us with that Pro Bowl selection. So
I think we're gonna have a few people on the Pro Bowl. You don't think we're gonna have a few people?
I don't know who else who could really be besides
Ogba.
Oh yeah, Ogba too. Yeah, he's having a really good season. I would say him too for sure.
Our kicker.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, but they only pick one kicker, and I think he's battling with this other one. I think there's another one who only missed one, so I'm not sure, but yeah, that's a possibility too. So you might have 3, right? So yeah, I feel good about the loss. I was about to say the win. I said I feel good about the loss. To Kansas City.
You're gonna get used to saying the win a lot in the near future. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I sure hope so. Especially next week and the next few weeks, because you got some tough must-win games, and I feel like if they win 2 out of 3, we in. And I feel like they're gonna win 2 out of 3. Mm-hmm. I feel like they could beat the Raiders. I feel like they could beat the Patriots, and the Bills is kind of a toss-up if we're gonna beat them or not. But it all really depends on how bad our players are injured, and let's not forget to mention too that we also play without a running back. Last second, Miles Gaskin, COVID protocol, didn't play in this game either. bro. So we didn't really have a strong running game like what we normally do with Gaskin. So
They try to
that's
do whatever
another
they
thing that we
did.
should point out.
They try to
Yeah,
do whatever they can to have us lose
to
the
stop
game.
our
That's kind of
shine.
like Des Bryant. You feel me? Bullshit at the last minute. It's kind of like the versus battle. Bullshit at the last minute with Alicia, or not Alicia Keys, but with Keisha Cole and
I actually didn't see that battle. Like,
nah,
you
it got
saw it?
canceled. It got
Oh, it
canceled
got canceled. Oh, okay, that's
because
what you mean.
one of them wind up getting COVID.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, and she canceled 2 hours before the actual versus battle. But the crazy thing is,
That
she won.
that's kind of fishy though. 2 hours before though.
Exactly. Ashanti, the truth. It was Ashanti that wound up getting COVID. She said she got tested the day before, the night before, and she didn't get her results back until 2 hours before. That's kind of hard to believe, especially when you're a celebrity. Right. But okay, we'll take that. I kind of feel like she knew she probably was gonna lose, even though I wanted to see her really. You feel me? I wanted to see her, and yeah, Keisha Cole would have been a plus too. But I really was rooting for Ashanti. She bad as fuck, especially in that Ciroc commercial when she coming out the pool. You feel me? But yeah, she, hey, it is what it is. Hopefully it wasn't a lie, and she makes a full recovery. If it is a lie, I hope you lose. You feel me?
For real.
All
right, we'll look forward to that when that comes around. So let's move on to some more games of what happened this weekend. I had the Eagles and the Saints because it was a game where we saw the young boy Jalen Hurts come out there and ball over the best team in the NFC at the time, record-wise, over Taysom Hill. But, I think we were both saying that, they're finally going to figure out Taysom Hill.
Exactly.
And that's exactly what happened. And Jalen Hurts, remember, I was like, man, I'm going to stay away from this game, even though I might fuck with it for the suicide. I was like, nah, I'm going to stay away from this game because you never know. It's a new quarterback. They got a new vibe going on. And I'm glad I stayed away from that. And I did roll with the Titans, who just, rolled over Jacksonville, thankfully. So your boy's still alive. Yeah, it's still it was still an interesting game just because the Eagles, who are not really that good, ended up beating the Saints. And now everybody talking about, okay, well, maybe Hurts is the guy. And I feel like he should be the guy, and they already announced him as going to be the guy for next week as far as a quarterback. So he should definitely continue. You should see what you got. And, if I'm a GM for the Eagles, I try to shop around Carson Wentz because obviously he's not himself, or I don't know what's going on with him, but maybe he needs to change
pick up that contract. Who's going to pick up that fucking contract? No one. Probably Dallas Cowboys.
That's a good point. Nah, I feel like they're gonna wait for Dak to come back, and they're finally gonna re-sign him because I think they're gonna realize that, okay, look how sorry we are without Dak, because they were pretty good with Dak. And as soon as Dak left, they were.
But even in the really beginning, garbage. Before he got injured, they was losing games.
Yeah, but last year
Last year they looked great. This year, like, even in the beginning, they were losing games. The problem is their head coach trash. They try to blame it on Aaron Rodgers. He said he took a year off to actually study film and do all this bullshit. And obviously he ain't studied nothing because he regressed. Some people just need to stay retired. You know what I'm saying? And he needed to stay retired or stay fired because I don't think he got fired. I think he got fired. So yeah, Mark McCarthy is a bad coach. He was riding on Aaron Rodgers' coattail, and the true colors is coming on right now. I don't understand why it's so much of a shock. Jerry Jones like yes men. I don't like yes men. I like people that say, Wes, you tripping. Wes, you done fucked up. You feel me? I'm gonna ask why you say that, but still. You feel me? If Marcus tell me like, yo, Wes, you tripping, that was fucked up, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna look at his point and I'm gonna be like, cool. Eventually, you can't be stubborn and not listen to other people. If you got more than one people telling you the same thing, obviously it's not the other people, it's you. You need to give up being the general manager and stuff like that. But again, right now, going back to the game, you got the Eagles. They wind up putting Jalen Hurts in the game. I think it's better for Jalen Hurts to actually start because they have no O-line, and Jalen Hurts can run around. He could do his thing.
Exactly.
I don't know what's going on with Carson Wentz, but Carson Wentz, like in the beginning, he looked like he knew how to run. I don't know. Like I didn't just look at him as just a pocket quarterback. I knew he knew how to throw the ball, this, that, and the other. But I could have sworn I remember seeing him run before. I think that's kind of what got him injured. You feel me? Running.
That's exactly what the point I was gonna make is that shit got him injured. So now he shook to run, bro. He doesn't run like he used to because he was like, man, the last time I ran, I was up for MVP, and then all of a sudden I'm out for the season. So that's always in his head.
Yeah, but still, I mean, he got paid. I mean, regardless of the fact what you want to get paid, you still gonna get this money. You might as well go out on the way you came into the league. You only been in the league a few years. Like I know a lot of people on Jamarcus, on Russell. He's out the league because his ass is garbage as fuck. You don't want to be one of those people. So if taking a few risks going, that's what it's going to be for you to stay in the league. That's what you need to do because you see what's happening with Xavier Howard. He injured his ACL. It took him a little while to get back to what we see right now. But like that's what happens. Same thing with with Tom Brady. Tom Brady, he tore his ACL, took a year off, came back, and he wound up winning some more Super Bowls. Even though I think that they cheated, but still, that's besides the point. But regardless of the game, I think is regardless of the fact, I think is a good move to start Jalen Hurts. I don't know what they're gonna do with Carson Wentz because I don't think nobody's gonna pick up that contract. I think the only teams that you kind of have some wiggle room with is the Chicago Bears. Because the Chicago Bears got a good defense. Their O-line is normally good because they're built to run. Right now, they just don't have no quarterback. Their quarterbacks suck. I want Cam Newton to go over there, but I'm not sure if they're gonna give him that opportunity because right now you could get Cam for cheap. You probably could get Carson Wentz for cheap because at the end of the day, you're not gonna be picking up that contract. You're gonna wait for them to fucking release his ass. They're just gonna go ahead and release him. It's gonna be a whole lot of dead money on the Eagles' salary. And they're just gonna wash their hands with him, and somebody's gonna pick him up for the cheap. Because I know if I pick you up, I'm gonna be like, yo, your ass getting paid all this money. I'm not giving you a big deal like that. No, I'm gonna give you something with incentives, or you got to prove your point. Something like what we did with Brent Grimes. He tore his Achilles, and people thought he was over when he was with the Falcons. Came to the Dolphins, signed him at a good price, a reasonable price at that. He showed he still had some gas in the tank, and that's exactly what I think the Philadelphia Eagles or another organization is going to do. Philly's going to wind up cutting him. Another organization is going to wind up picking him up for the cheap, and I think he'll get a situation where it's like Tannehill from Miami. Didn't look great in Miami. I don't know if it's the coach. I don't know if it's the organization or just the environment. And I think that he will wind up making a comeback, but it won't be for the Eagles.
Yeah, definitely won't be for the Eagles. Definitely, at least not this week. Jalen Hurts, good luck to you next week. Black lives matter, black quarterbacks matter. Let's go, Jalen Hurts.
Let's go.
All right, let's move on to the next game. We got Bills and Steelers. Just to quickly recap that one, the Bills look like a really good team, like me and Wes have been saying. Yeah, they got a balanced offense, a strong defense, a quarterback that can run, make plays out of the pocket when he needs to. But he's not a running quarterback. He actually has a very, very strong arm. Sometimes he's inaccurate at times, but he's got a strong arm. He can gun that thing. So the Bills, once again, hand the Steelers their second loss of the season, just like Western Thomas and Benjamin Report predicted that would happen.
Exactly.
So, the Bills definitely are still a force to be reckoned with. That's going to be a big game for us coming up. As far as the Dolphins concerned, that could very well decide the division crown that game. But the Steelers still one-dimensional, even though James Conner did come back for this game. They are not.
It's Big Ben and it's the organization. One, y'all don't have AB, so Juju's gonna get doubled all day. Y'all don't have playmakers on your team. Sometimes you got sometimes you gotta we learned this with LeBron James. You feel what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta appease to certain players. LeBron James wanted certain shit. Pat Riley didn't want to give him that shit. He cleared it. He wound up winning some more championships. He should be in Miami winning all these rings. You know what I'm saying? That's one. So ultimately, when it comes down to it, I look at the Steelers, and they do not want to pay not even pay, but deal with certain people. And sometimes you're gonna have to deal with those people. Great coaches deal with these people. Bill Belichick find the worst guy in the world and make stars out of him, and he goes somewhere else and get a big contract, you know. And it's like, what happened? Like, what was you doing when you first came in the league? You know, sometimes that's what you got to do. So the Steelers are one-dimensional. Ben Roethlisberger is burglar, allegedly. He's old, and you know what? Old quarterbacks, they're tired of getting hit. They don't want to get hit. You know, even though Big Ben is big, he's an older quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So he's not. You know,
Big Ben be looking like a big dude because he got like 5 layers of padding on him. You see all the layers of padding this dude got on him
because he don't want to get hit.
Everything. Just like what you say, he doesn't want to get hit, and he can't move around like he used to. You know, so yeah, I totally
ain't no
agree.
Spring chicken. You know, so yeah, it's a combination of things, and not just that, but the defense. The defense is not the defense anymore. You know, same like with the Ravens, bro. You know, they're missing him, but still, it never mattered with the Steelers. It never mattered with the Ravens. Those teams historically been great defenses. It didn't matter. You know, one person go down, next man come up, and you're like, damn, who the fuck is this guy? I ain't never heard of him. It's probably because he has someone like Ray Lewis in front of him or something like that. It's just like Alabama. You got a whole bunch of 5s on the team. Damn, where this 5 came from? I didn't even know you recruited him. That's what I look at when I look at the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Ravens. Y'all supposed to be stout on defense. Y'all going to do what y'all need to do on offense, run the ball, have an average quarterback that's going to dink and dunk, but you're going to control the clock, you know, and y'all not the same team that I know. So it is what it is. I'm happy to see the Steelers losing right now. I'm happy to see the New England Patriots losing right now. As far as with the Bills, when we lost to the Bills early on this season, it don't look as bad because damn, they number 1 in the AFC. You know what I'm saying? So I look at the game that we probably gonna be playing in the next few weeks as like you said, you know, we can be fighting for number 1 if we win all 3 and they lose a few games. I still think they're gonna be number 1, but I still think we could fight for number 2. If we win all 3, that'll be great, and that kind of leads into the next game. I think you got the no, that's not that game. That's the game that's on Thursday night. You know?
No, it does really lead into the next game that we're supposed to talk about, which is the Ravens and the Browns. And I was cheering really hard for the Browns, obviously, because the Ravens are right there on our coattail when it comes to the playoffs. This was a great game to watch, though. Did you see this game? Did you watch it?
I didn't see it. Like when you asked me, I was like, nah, I seen the highlights. Matter of fact, I seen some shit on TMZ though. I seen Lamar Jackson running to the bathroom. You know, they said that he had to take a shit, but you know, I don't know if it's true or not. You know,
I don't know if it's true or not either. But it's funny as fuck if it is
like
true.
That dude, that NFL Mark Slariff. You know, they call him Stinky because he used to shit and piss on himself when he was on the field.
Oh,
and Lamar Jackson is not trying to have that name. Hell no. So if that's what you needed to do it, Lamar. Do it.
If that's the case, I mean, it's funny. It's funny as hell. I hope that's the case because what they were saying is that, well, what he was saying too is that he was cramping. And I was like, who the hell cramps in the NFL? Like if you're in college, I understand. If you're in high school, I definitely understand. But like, you can't be cramping in the NFL. How much Gatorade do they feed y'all? And you're in the NFL. How long have you played? And you know you're supposed to hydrate before a game. You telling me you're cramping?
You can't blame him, man.
Like,
what else you was gonna
that's
say?
why it was sounded suspect, because I'm like, yo, Lamar Jackson is cramping for real. Like,
kid, like for real, Marcus. What else he could have said, man? That was the best thing he could have said.
For real, man.
But nah, I didn't see that game. You know,
the game was great. It was great to watch. You know, like Cleveland, they battled back. Cleveland is a legit team. They're a fun team to watch. You know, Baker Mayfield was playing really well in this game. He did have one bad interception, and that probably was kind of the difference in the game pretty much. But it was kind of in the third quarter, and they were down, but he still brought the Browns back into the game where they were winning. The problem that happened is that they scored too fast. They scored too fast, and they left too much time on the clock for Lamar Jackson.
But that fucking kicker, that's one of the greatest kickers. That's the kicker just like our guy. That motherfucker could kick 60-yarders. Like, what are you doing?
He actually is the most accurate kicker in NFL history. He's that most accurate kicker in NFL history. So he is going to the Hall of Fame once he retires. You know, so like once he got lined up for that kick, I was like, oh man, this shit is over. But yeah, so what happened in this game, particularly Lamar Jackson was out for 2 series, and Trace McSorley, if you remember him, used to play for Penn State, came into the game, and you know, he actually threw a good ball to Hollywood Brown, who dropped it, you know, so it could have been a first down. And then the next series, he gets hurt, like on the third down play. So after the third down play, here come Lamar Jackson come running back into this game like he's Willis Reed or some shit. I was just like, hell nah. What?
They gave him some Gatorade 2.0, you know.
Or some Pepto-Bismol or something. So he could stop having the bubble guts. And then he came back into this game, 4th down now. He fakes like he's about to run and then tosses it to Hollywood Brown for a touchdown. So, you know, after that, the Browns come back, march down the field, score a touchdown, but they scored it with like a minute left. So Lamar Jackson comes back. Oh, he didn't have to go too far because the kick returner returned the ball for like 30 yards. He completed like 2 passes, kicked the field goal, and then won the game. But, you know, the disappointing thing about this game is that they won the game, and they're one of those teams that are battling us for that last playoff spot. So, I mean, the Ravens, when they are going, though, they could be one of the best teams in the league, because how do you stop Lamar Jackson, really? If Lamar Jackson I hate to say this, but I hate to compare this to this person, but he could be as great as LeBron James. You know how LeBron James is like, it's almost like LeBron James doesn't realize, like at first, like in the middle of his career, doesn't realize how great he is. He doesn't realize he could pretty much go down and score damn near every time or assist on every play. And that's what happens that's basically what Lamar Jackson can do. He can either run for the first down or fake like he's running, like Patrick Mahomes does, and toss it to somebody for a first down. If he just gets it in his head that he can do that damn near every play, I don't see how a team really stops him. Especially if they have a running game to support that. You know,
he could if they actually went ahead and got Antonio Brown. You know, that's kind of one of the
got Dez, and Dez didn't play though.
Man, can you really like you see who you're saying? Dez, a guy someone that
I thought you was talking Dez up, talking about he was working out.
I fuck with Dez Bryant, but damn, Dez Bryant is not no AB. Like, come on, man, you've been out of the league for a little while, sitting. You know, you barely got a chance to even play. Like, I'm not gonna put all my cards on you. I mean, maybe next year when it's a regular season, you know, right now, nah, that's the last person that I'm going to rely on, you know, and I'm pretty sure you're not going to rely on him right now either. You feel me? Because of exactly what I just said. You know, you've been chilling at the crib for the longest. You know what I'm saying? So nah, you know, nah, he don't remind me of the person that's injured and he's working on nothing but his game. He was chilling, vibing. You know, I probably would have been doing the same shit. So not him. But yeah, that's gonna go ahead and we're gonna go ahead and switch topics. And it's another game that kind of has ramifications on the AFC and the Chargers and the Raiders, because the Raiders are 7-6.
Thursday night game.
Yeah, they 7-6. They went out, and Miami Dolphins wind up losing a few of these games, and they wind up, jumping, or the Ravens jumping and doing their thing. So you know who I want to actually win. I want the Raiders to actually win.
Raiders.
One, because
you mean the Chargers?
I mean no. Yeah. I want the Chargers to win. But I hate the Chargers because I didn't like all that bullshit that they were saying about Tua.
You just hating on Justin Herbert. That's all that is.
I'm loyal to Tua. You feel me? So hey.
But you gonna be cheering for him tomorrow night, though.
Oh, of course,
Let's go, Justin Herbert.
For his ass, but yeah, Las Vegas. I mean, they don't strike me as a team that deserve to make the playoffs. I see the score. They're pretenders, like the actual Pittsburgh Steelers right now. There's not too much I like about them. Of course, they got Chucky as the head coach. They got Derek Carr. And he can be great at times, but majority of the time he's mediocre. Majority of the time he's dinking and dunking, 5-yard plays, this, that, and the other. I can't really say too much. I know they're a balanced team, but I haven't even really watched too much of their games this year because, there's plenty of other games that's better than them when they're actually playing. Thank God they're playing on Thursday night, so I can actually really focus on this game. Hopefully it's something that I could change early. The Chargers do their thing early, and I can enjoy my Thursday. But it seems like this is going to be like kind of a shootout. You got a coach that's on the hot seat. He's trying to win. What better way to kind of keep your job and ruining a two-time head coach, winning Super Bowl coach, someone that's actually trying to make the playoffs right now. They're on the brink of making the playoffs, hopefully not. So if the Chargers actually win, and if they win handily, people fighting for their jobs. He can probably keep his job. We know Jalen Hurts gonna stay. We know the player's gonna stay, but the coach, and I do not want to see another black head coach get fired. We're getting less and less black coaches in the league. Last time we spoke, not last time, but one of these episodes, we spoke on Brian Flores being one of the black head coaches. We spoke on I forgot what his name is, but he was a black head coach. We only have like a handful of black coaches. So I tell
you one that's going to be fired, I think, by the end of the season is the coach for the Chargers, which is, I think his name's Anthony Lynn.
He's going
to be fired, bro.
That's what I'm saying. If he wind up winning and beating Chucky, a coach that got Super Bowls under their belt, they fighting for the playoffs. If he beat him and he beat him handily, it's not no fluke shit. Then you could probably save your job. If you win out, you can save your job. If you lose, but lose by a field goal, cause come on, that's one of his outs. And they're like, yo, we was in the game all season. This is a rookie quarterback. I'm not sure is Boza even playing? I haven't even heard him.
I think he's still hurt.
Exactly. So, come on, you got all this going against me. You gonna try to fire me now? Come on, man, don't do it to a nigga like that. Give me one more year and then fire me. You know what I'm saying? So,
I hope it happens for him that way, but I don't think it's gonna happen because
everybody got a dream. You got to dream for somebody sometimes, man.
Yeah, absolutely. but who you got in the game? What's the final score you got?
With the Raiders versus the Chargers?
Yeah.
I got the Raiders winning, even though I don't want them to win, but I think the Raiders are going to win 24 to maybe 14. Nah, matter of fact, let me change that. I think the Raiders are going to win 32 to 28 because, they do score in with the Chargers. They do score.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Chargers in this game. I'm going to go with the young boy, Justin Herbert. Let's go. And I say they win this game 30 to 24.
Shit, thank you. I don't mind. I hope I'm wrong with that pick. You feel me? Because I need the Dolphins to stay alive. You feel me?
Yeah. So we actually got Saturday NFL games this weekend. So the first of the two games that we have is the Bills and the Broncos. The Bills turn around and play again against the Broncos, who are kind of a sneaky good team. Sometimes they good, sometimes they bad, but against a good team, I feel like they're not going to show up like they showed up in other games. And I think this ends up being a relatively easy win for the Bills. I think the Bills, win this game just because they are focused on winning the division. And if they win, I think 2 more games. If they lose their last 3 games, then they pretty much lose the division to us because we're going to win 2. So they're focused on winning every game, and I think the Bills pull this one out. I think it's going to be kind of close because the Broncos always find a way to kind of either keep it close or win. Remember, Broncos is the team that embarrassed us one week, which was kind of a fluke, but I think the Bills win in kind of a, medium scoring game, 2017. Bills win that game.
I think the Bills win also. Look, you're speaking on a team that's 10-3. You got another team that's 5-8. Of course, like what you're saying, you got the Broncos. Right now they do be suspects sometimes, but they be fighting. You kind of remind me of like the Dolphins last year, in rebuilding. They're trying to win. They're not like the Jets trying to lose,
Right.
So I think that they're going to give the Bills a run for their money, but ultimately the better team is going to go ahead and win. And I got the Bills winning 28 to the Broncos 17.
All right. And that other game is the Packers and the Panthers. The Panthers kind of been a disappointment to me this season, and it's a lot because Christian McCaffrey, they invested all this money into this dude who is a great player. Let's not get it twisted, but he's been hurt pretty much.
Availability is the
best ability.
There you go.
And this dude is just, he's not available. He I forgot what the first injury was, but then he got hurt again with a shoulder injury and hasn't been back since. I'm not sure if he's going to be back for this game.
I hope he keep getting injured.
Why?
Because, that's kind of like what we got with Devontae Parker. He was getting injured all that time, and the Dolphins didn't wind up releasing him. They gave him a shot, and we wind up getting a great receiver for the low. So I hope that he keep getting injured. And one of our detriments in the Dolphins is, having a running back that can do certain things, So McCaffrey, like, you could put him in a slot, you could do all type of shit with him. So I think that, it's going to be a long time because he just got drafted not too long ago. I think he got a few years under his belt before he actually can get released or, be a free agent. But if he can, wind up keep being the same person right now, how you is, you're great when you're healthy. But like Marcus said, availability is the best ability. So I want you to not be available for them while you're on contract, and then the Dolphins pick you up, and then
I don't even want to think about that. That sounds like a dream, but that would be a dream come true because I feel like that's exactly what we need. We need like a playmaking running back that we could rely on. Sky's the limit if that can happen. But as far as this game's concerned, I feel like the Panthers are an underachieving team. They should be doing a lot better as far as record-wise. The Packers seem like they're rolling right now. Devontae Adams, I seen some kind of crazy stat, like he's got maybe about, 70-something targets and no drops. So Devontae Adams is balling out of this world, and that's exactly what.
What state he from?
I actually don't know.
Not from Florida?
He probably is from Florida, balling like that. But I'll look that up real quick. But I feel like he definitely is a difference maker for the Packers, and I see the Packers winning this game. But not a total blowout, but it's an easy win. I'd say about a 10-point victory. He's actually from Cali, by the way.
Oh, okay.
That's cool. So yeah, I'd say about a 10-point victory. I think maybe 17-27. Packers win that game.
I got 28-17.
28-17. All right, cool. So let's go into the other games. It's championship Saturday on Saturday. All the college football championship games are lined up on Saturday. So, I mean, we can speak a little bit about the playoffs, but we run a little bit on time. But the playoffs and the playoff committee, this is just a joke, man. I had to tweet out that this is just a damn joke. The playoffs this year, you got like so many undefeated teams that played 4 or 5 games, 6 games. Ohio State is likely going to be in the playoffs, because they're Ohio State, which is weird because USC is also one of those big time brands. They actually have more national championships or more draft picks that to go to the league. USC does than Ohio State. So I'm not exactly sure why USC is overlooked. The USC is not even in the top 10 and they're undefeated. And they also got a championship game coming up this weekend. That game is actually Friday night. And they switched the game from Washington as an opponent to Oregon because Washington had COVID issues. So it's just like this whole season to me is a scratch to me. Like you got to scratch this shit out because you can't really put too much stock into the playoff teams and who wins this one. I mean, hopefully we get some kind of justice this weekend, and I say that as in the undefeated teams lose in the championship games because that way you won't feel as bad as the teams that get left out. So we'll see, but first game up is probably the primetime game that we all want to see. But the thing is, it's like we're going to see a trilogy of this game. We're going to see this game for a third time, Notre Dame and Clemson. So we saw it one time already without Sunshine playing, no Sunshine in the game. So that's kind of a scratch in itself, mm-hmm. And then, so they're going to play now, but if they play again, then it's 1-1, right? Yeah. So you're going to play them. They're going to play again in the playoffs. It's kind of overkill. I mean, at what point do you actually eliminate a team in the regular season and then just say, hey, you're not good enough. We played you already. Let's move on. But that's not what this committee is going to do. They're going to put Notre Dame back in there because when they lose this week, because I feel like they're going to lose to Clemson.
Yeah,
when they lose, they're going to get right back in the playoffs and lose again. Like, why are you putting a team in the playoffs again that already proved that they're not a better team when Clemson is full strength? So to give you a quick pick on this game, Clemson, I feel like is going to murder this team, actually.
Yes.
I feel like it's going to be a 3-touchdown type of win. Give me 35-14 Clemson.
Oh, nah. I think it's going to be worse. I think it's going to be like a 4-touchdown game. I think it's going to be 42-21. Why? Because you got that fluke ass win, and y'all so proud of that shit. Like you earned it. You earned it of not playing Sunshine. You know what I'm saying? And I know that they're gonna do exactly what UNC did to University of Miami. He could have just start putting backups in. Nah, he kept his foot on the pedal, and that's exactly what I want with Clemson versus Notre Dame. Because they kind of I don't even like them being in the ACC this year, kind of fucking up the whole ACC.
Some bullshit.
Yeah, it's bullshit, but it's all good. I got them 42-21, and now we have the second game. Number 1 Alabama. The second evil empire with Nick Saban. Helicopter man.
Patriots 2.0.
Exactly. I will not be the head coach of Alabama, and then tomorrow I'm there. Yes, you. Yeah. I hopefully, the crazy thing is, what you think would happen if Notre Dame beat Clemson and Florida beat Alabama?
Nothing.
That will fuck up the
thing
whole...
is that it's not going to fuck it up. I mean, it would be nice to see Alabama lose, but they're still going to put Alabama in.
Yeah, they're going to put them number 4.
That's the most ridiculous thing about it. And because Florida lost last week, they ain't going to put a 2-loss SEC team in. They're not going to do it. So it's really not going to make any difference. So you actually don't even need to watch this game, one, for that reason, and two, because Alabama's going to mock these dudes. You know, Alabama, like, is going to destroy them because, I mean, I don't know if you didn't see the game last week against LSU. When I got home from the game, I flipped the game on, and I was just like, wow, LSU is just moving the ball on them. And LSU has been pretty garbage this season because they lost all these players from their championship team last season. And all of a sudden, they're just moving the ball with ease over Florida. Now, Florida has a decent offense. They can score, but they're not going to score a lot of points against Alabama. And Alabama's going to score at will against Florida. So I think this game is going to be worse than that Clemson game. I feel like Alabama's going to be like, I was going to be nice and say 45-13 type of game. Alabama destroys the Gators.
I think same score like the previous game, but it'll be like 40-42 to like 24. You know, they scored one more field goal, you know, so enough about that game. We know where it's going. We know how the playoffs going to look. So we'll just go ahead and go along to the next game. You got the fucking number 4 Ohio State that shouldn't be number 4 because they only won. They only played 5 games, you know, going against number 14 Northwestern. I think Ohio State's going to go ahead and win, regardless of the fact. I'm not going to go too much into detail with this game because we know what Ohio State do. Regardless if they didn't win that many games, I know that's a good team. It's not their fault that they didn't, their actual division, their conference didn't let them play early. It was in a state that was like the worst state to play any type of sports in. Everybody was open and they were still closed. But I feel Ohio State going to go ahead and continue on their run. They're going to go ahead and run it up just like the other 2 games, 42-17. Matter of fact, 42-14.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's going to be another blowout to me. I saw Northwestern play a couple of times, and I wasn't impressed with them. This is a team that lost to Michigan State. So I feel like they're a decent team. They're a hard-nosed team. They're coached well, but they don't have the ballers that Ohio State has. When it comes to football on high school and the college level, it's really about who has the better athletes for the most part. You know, maybe you'll have an upset here and there, but this is a championship game. So it's not like they're overlooking Northwestern at all. So they're going to be ready to play, and they're out to prove that they are a legit team, since everybody's saying like, oh, you just played 5 games. Why are you being in the playoffs? They hear that just like we hear that. So they're going to come out like gangbusters and blow Northwestern out of the water. I think Northwestern's going to score some points late because I think it's going to be similar to like that Indiana game but they don't have an offense like Indiana has. But they'll score some points late. So I feel like that their offense is going to go off on this game. And I think Justin Fields is going to have a day. So give me 52 to 24. Ohio State wins.
Okay. So next game, we got the number 6 Iowa State versus number 10 Oklahoma.
In the Big 12 championship game.
Okay, who you? Because I'm not, they're not any of the teams I really watch.
This will be just quick picks, but both teams have explosive offenses, mediocre defenses. That's how the Big 12 is. Iowa State, I think, they played well as of late, but I don't know. I just don't believe that. I don't believe in it yet, and I think a quarterback like Spencer Rattler, who's a player that I actually got to see in person just as a kid growing up because he went to the football op-ed. He was a football op-ed kid. So I think he is developing. Took him a while. I mean, he is a true freshman, but nowadays it's like we expect true freshmen to ball like out of the gate, and he kind of stumbled his first couple of games. That's why they got 2 losses. But I think they are kind of back on track, and I think Oklahoma wins and beats Iowa State in a shootout, though. I think it's a back-and-forth shootout type of game. Give me 45-42, Oklahoma.
Okay. I'll go with the same, close to the same. I'll go with 35-32, Oklahoma.
All right. After that, we got USC and Oregon. Talked about how Oregon just got, put into this game. USC, I feel like has something to prove. Oregon doesn't look as good this season. I'm just gonna go with USC. I feel like they'll find a way to win in the end, like they've been doing this season. But it's gonna be a close game because Oregon's playing now. The team playing with a chip on their shoulder. So I'll go with USC 31, Oregon 24.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer. I mean, Oregon got thrown into it because of COVID. You know, you got USC that's ranked, and Oregon, you're not ranked. You know, it's a no-brainer. I don't see anything. You know, I fuck with Mario Cristobal. You know, it's all about the youth, family over everything. But I don't think that you have what you need to, go against USC. So USC is going to go ahead and win this game. It's going to be 28 to probably 10. Game over.
All right. Next game is Cincinnati and Tulsa in the American Championship game. I actually think Tulsa has a really good chance to win this game and surprise Cincinnati. So I'm actually going to roll with Tulsa in this game just because I feel like the pressure is more on Cincinnati and nobody's even talking about Tulsa. And Tulsa, I saw them play one game and they look pretty good as far as their offense is concerned. So I think Tulsa wins this game over Cincinnati. Give me 21-17 Tulsa.
Okay, I haven't really seen Tulsa play. I know about Cincinnati. They're always in it. They not a great school, but when I do see highlights of them, they
Cincinnati's still undefeated. So.
Oh, so yeah, then I'm going with Cincinnati. I know Tulsa probably gonna try to upset, but Cincinnati's ranked number 9 right now, going against 23. I think Cincinnati's gonna go ahead and pull this out, and then we have another undefeated game. And Coastal Carolina versus Louisiana. Coastal Carolina is, ranked 12 in the nation, and Louisiana is 19. I'll go with Coastal Carolina because I did see, when you had put me on them, I had to double back and try to look what's going on with this team, and then I looked at it, and then I seen highlights later on, a few days later, talking about the same team. So I'm looking, and, they look decent. they look real good. Really haven't seen Louisiana, so I'm going to go on what I actually seen on tape, and I'm going to go with Coastal Carolina. Coastal Carolina going to go ahead and win 28-21 against Louisiana.
I'm actually going to go with Louisiana in this game just because Louisiana, they beat Iowa State earlier this season. I think people forgot about that. And their only loss, I think, was to Coastal Carolina. So I think this is actually a rematch game. And usually when it's a rematch game, the team that lost usually comes back and wins. So I'm going to go with Louisiana to upset Coastal Carolina in a close game. Give me 30-29.
Okay.
Louisiana.
It sounds like that.
Louisiana.
Game. It sounds like one of those games. 30-29. Let's see what happens. And then we got the final game of Saturday.
Mountain West Championship.
San Jose State versus Boise State. San Jose State's ranked number 23.
They still undefeated too.
They still undefeated, but for some reason I want to go with Boise State.
Me too.
I hate their fucking stadium.
I hate that blue turf too.
Exactly. So no reason why. I just have a gut feeling that they're gonna go ahead.
Same here because I haven't seen either team play. Gut feeling, Boise State.
But what's your score?
I will go. I feel like it'd probably be a high scoring game. So let me go 34-27.
I think it's going to be a high scoring game also because Boise State always scored a lot. I remember when Kellen was it Kellen Moore?
Kellen Moore, yeah.
Kellen Moore was with them and it was undefeated for like a few years. So, I'm going to go in and pick Boise State. I think it's also going to be probably a shootout. I don't think it's going to be as high. But I think it'll be like 28-25 Boise State with the victory. And then after all these games, or probably even during these games, we're going to have a great versus battle. Not so much as great as the Gucci Mane, Young Jeezy, or even the Bounty Killer and the Beanie Man. I think we have Too Short versus E40, both West Coast niggas. You feel me? Two different
Oakland. They
sounds.
both from Oakland, I believe, too.
Yeah, but they sound completely different. Both
Hell
of them
yeah.
pimps. Both of them move like pimps. You feel me? I know you guys are married. I'm not saying y'all pimps. Nah, no. But
we
yeah,
all pimps in our mind.
exactly, at heart. You feel me? At heart. But yeah, like it's like the other day, like when I was putting y'all on E40, I was like, yo, man, listen to this new E40 boy. Like y'all like, man, I don't know if I can listen to his ass. He remind me of Blueface. He be offbeat. And then when I put y'all on, y'all like, yo, this shit do sound kind of hard though. You feel me? Maybe not maybe not the earlier shit that he had, which I felt was good also. I mean, we from the East Coast. We really don't listen to stuff like that from the West Coast. It usually normally is Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Tupac. You got West Side Connection. Certain individuals, from the West Side, they bled into the East Coast. But E40 wasn't one of them. E40 wasn't one of them.
Definitely not for me.
Too Short a little bit because Too Short kind of reminded me of like the Ghetto Boys, in that era, even though, two different coasts. Who you think gonna win? I think.
Man, come on, man. This is not a battle for me. I mean, maybe you're not up on Too Short like I am.
No, I'm on Too Short. You feel
Come
me?
on, man. Too Short has a huge library. I don't understand how this dude is still old. This dude's got to be a grandfather. He's got to be a grandpa. He's that old. You know what I'm saying?
All the motherfuckers he was fucking. They don't. Man. Come on, man.
I was actually just listening to some Too Short the other day, and I was like, damn, I forgot about Too Short. That Can't Stay Away, that album. The Body in the Trunk. Cocktails. Come on, man. Like.
You got me. It's cool.
I mean, Too Short is gonna, and then some of the recent stuff like Blow the Whistle, and then I Love. Come on, I Love with Scarface and Trick Daddy, and I think Daz was in it too.
What song that was?
I Love Get My Head Blown. I Love Come on, man. Come on, man. That was on Too Short's album. So yeah, Too Short, I think is definitely gonna blow E40 out the water. I ain't really listen to E40 like that much growing up.
Me neither. I listen to more Too Short than E40. It's just like, I guess because I'm listening to more of E40 recent shit that's kind of putting me up on him, but I think it's kind of equal though. I think Too Short is better than him. But E40 ain't no slouch. E40 gonna hold his own. He does have a lot of hits. Both of them got a lot of hits. The thing is not the versus battle is not who's the best rappers, who has who plays the best hits today. You feel me? Because there's a lot of versus battles where there was hits that me and you wanted to get played and they didn't play it. So It depends on who's gonna come up with their 20. Who's gonna come up with the best 20? And I hope Too Short is really Too Short, and he played that and a lot of other shit because people sleep on him also, but definitely a lot of people sleep on E40 also. So we'll figure that out when we actually see it at the end of the night on Saturday.
So that's Saturday. What time is that on Saturday?
Most likely it's at 8:00.
Okay, I'm probably gonna miss it then because I'll be at the St. Thomas Edgewater game on that Saturday night. That's actually a rematch, the only rematch that we're getting.
Hold on. You didn't even introduce yourself yet. You feel me? We're now entering the Benjamin Report.
We're now entering the Benjamin Report. I'm Marcus Benjamin, bringing it to you.
Mm-hmm.
So, how's that for the intro?
Perfect.
But yeah, so Saturday night, likely gonna miss that versus battle because I will be in Tallahassee for the St. Thomas and Edgewater game, which I think is probably gonna be the best game of the entire weekend. Because you got the only rematch, like I said, from last season, and this game came down to the wire last season. Edgewater had a chance with like a last second pass to the end zone to win, to potentially win the game, and it got intercepted by by Marcus Rosemead, who's actually a receiver for Georgia, who got hurt really bad a couple of weeks ago, by the way. I don't know if you saw that. But yeah. Yeah, I think St. Thomas is actually going to pull this game out. You know, I think their coaching staff is a pro coaching staff. Roger Harriet, head coach, used to play. You got Jason Taylor on this staff, who's extremely intense, bro. Like he's really intense on the sideline. Like he's into every game, into every play. I mean, he's really intense, and I think they're gonna have these boys all prepared to win this game. I think it's gonna be a close game, come down to the wire, just like last year, because Edgewater, they got some ballers on that team. You know, they got some players that are committed to Alabama. Tommy Hill, who was actually committed to Arizona State, who's a great receiver, underrated.
Didn't we sign somebody from UM?
Yeah, from Edgewater. Yeah, Deshaun Troutman, linebacker. Look at you, Wes. I see you.
Come on, I got time to do the thing.
Deshaun Troutman, linebacker, who is a really great linebacker, who I'm really excited about too, as far as because we need a lot like a sideline to sideline type of linebacker, and he's that type of player. So hopefully he'll be able to, be that player on the next level for us. So yeah, I think this is gonna be a good game, but I think St. Thomas, I can't bet against South Florida.
Of course not.
So I think they'll pull this out, and if they do win, they'll have 12 state championships, which would be the most in the state. So right now they're in a tie with Bowles out of Jacksonville, and they play Cardinal Gibbons tomorrow during the day. So Cardinal Gibbons, I think, is actually going to destroy this team. I think Cardinal Gibbons, you could argue, is the best team in the state. A lot of people don't say that. I'm not in the majority in that, but from what I see and from what they've done to teams, I feel like they are the best team in the state. Cardinal Gibbons beat St. Thomas. People say it was a fluke, but they forced turnovers and won the game fair and square. So I think Cardinal Gibbons, to me, is the best team in the state, and they're going to show it tomorrow by destroying Bowles in the championship game. Other games we got going on, Chaminade's about to play in 5 minutes here against Jacksonville, Trinity Christian Jacksonville.
What channel they playing?
It's actually online, so you can actually watch it online. The website is FHSSA, or I'll forward it to you.
Forward it to
something. Let me just say it. FHSAAboxcast.com. So that you can pretty much watch all the games on that. So Chaminade and Trinity Christian, I think is going to be a really good game too, because they won the last 8 3A state championships between them. At last 7, I mean. So Trinity Christian won 4 straight championships, and then they moved to a different class, and then Chaminade won 3 state championships. So they're clearly are 2 dynastic teams. So it's really awesome to see who really owns this class of 3A. I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to come down to the wire. If I'm betting with my brain, I might say Jacksonville Trinity Christian wins this game, but I'm betting with my heart, and I'm saying Chaminade is going to find a way to win this game. So Chaminade with the running back, Dad Franklin at running back, who just signed to the U today. I expect him to just get a high workload. He actually has been nursing a hamstring injury, so he hasn't been playing for the past 2 to 3 weeks. So I think he's rested up now and is really ready to, to run all over Trinity Christian. Yeah, and we'll see what they do. But what I worry about is the passing game from Chaminade. And if Trinity Christian games plan, I feel like they can force them into some tough situations. So we'll see what happens tonight with Chaminade. Miami Central it's not going to be a game to me. I feel like Miami Central is going to blow out Lake Minneola. I think they're going to destroy this team. Lake Minneola is just one of these teams that are there for the first time, happy to be there type of team. Miami Central has been there, done that. They know what it takes to win championship games. It's going to be the strong running game of Amari Daniels, who just signed with Texas A&M, along with Keith Brown, also signed to Texas A&M today. I feel like they will definitely, run behind Lawrence Seymour, who's committed to the U.
I was just about to say.
They'll be running behind Lawrence Seymour, who's going to be making those holes for those two playmakers for them to win easily on Friday. So the other game left is American Heritage and Rickards. Rickards is another team out of Tallahassee, so they're gonna have the home team, the home crowd, but it's not gonna be enough for them to beat a team like American Heritage. James Williams, the safety 5-star, signed to the U today, anchors that defense. He plays in the box. He likes to play in the box. I put out a tweet today that he reminds me a lot of Sean Taylor, as far as his aggression and just his pursuit to the football. Now, he's probably not the best when it comes to, in the air, but that's why we got Cam Kinchins, the other commit out of Miami Northwestern, who is more that type of safety. So you got your free safety and you got your strong safety. So James Williams anchors that defense. I think they're going to blow out Rickards. I think this is not going to be a game. They'll destroy them by at least 3 to 4 touchdowns, probably rest their starters, and they're on to celebration mode. 8A, unfortunately, Wes, I have to report we do not have a team, bro. We don't have a team in the 8A state championship because Palmetto lost on Saturday. Remember, I was like, oh, we have to wait and see. Palmetto lost on Saturday, unfortunately, to Osceola Kissimmee, but I don't think Osceola Kissimmee is going to win the championship. I don't think they have enough to beat Seminole out of Sanford, Florida. They got some dogs over there, and I think Seminole, wins that game easily. Unfortunately, there will not be a South Florida sweep this year because Miami Palmetto did not win on Saturday night. Unfortunately, it was another sad day for me on that Saturday night because of that Hurricanes game and because of Miami Palmetto losing. I was like, damn, So, but anyways, there's always next year, and really the better 8A teams are going to be playing in the Tri-County Championship, which is going to be going down this weekend. Deerfield and Columbus will be playing each other. Look out for that game. I didn't even mention it, but I should. 2 games I should mention actually is that game. I think actually Deerfield. I'm going to go out on a limb and say Deerfield goes out and wins this game. I think Deerfield, year after year after year, they have a good team, but they don't win anything. I think this is the one time they actually win something, and that's not state, ironically, but I think they find a way to beat Columbus. And then the other game, believe it or not, is NMB, baby. NMB is playing Dillard in the Tri-County Championship game. Mm-hmm. So NMB has a chance. They proved me wrong last week. They went out and beat Killian, took it to them boys. We do also have a Killian signee from, Tyler Johnson, Jaquan Johnson's little brother. He signed to the U today. But I think NMB has a chance to make this a close game, but damn, I feel like I'm going to pick against them again because I seen Dillard and I seen NMB, and Dillard's got a squad, bro. Like, they got a squad, but you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to NMB, man. Let's go home team, man. Let's go Chargers. Let's go Britannia. I know Chris is gonna say fuck Britannia real quick. every time I mention him. There you go saying it. But let's go NMB. Let's see what they can do. That's Thursday night at Trash Pal. We'll see. I might be at that game. I might stop by and see what's going on over there. So let's go NMB. Big game, big weekend. This is like the end of high school football, and this is kind of the end of college football too, until we go to bowl games. So things are going to calm down a little bit. One of the biggest weekends of the season. One of the busiest weeks for me. I've been tweeting like crazy today. Follow me at _Benjamin Report. But this pretty much concludes the MarcWes Sports Podcast for this week.
Yeah, man.
Anything else you got, Wes?
Nah, nothing else right now. Just, I'm gonna go ahead and try to throw on that game. Make sure you forward me that link, so I could go ahead and see what's good. I'm gonna be switching up from that. We've been doing a podcast, so I'm gonna try to do a little bit of that and a little bit of family time. So that concludes the MarcWes Sports Podcast. We'll definitely catch you guys on Saturday to give y'all a little bit more of these picks, and definitely Marcus will give you the recaps of these high school football championship games. So you guys take these picks and y'all enjoy the rest of your night. Peace.